Air Yeezy 2 remakes of all three colorways are dropping soon. Global stock production for the white Pharrell's Jellyfishes have leaked. You're not gonna like it. Virgil Abloh Archives cryo shots are restocking on the sneakers app this month. Nike's releasing a bunch of sneakers on July 1st. I got the stock numbers, all that and much more, so make sure you watch the entire episode. But before we do anything, guys, subscribe, turn on all notifications, and make sure you follow me on Instagram, Sneakers Kitten. All this intel is for free. I ain't ask for nothing except that. So do me a huge favor and do one of those things and I would really appreciate it. But before we head on over to the stock numbers for this week, I do want to recap some stock numbers that I haven't had the opportunity to show you on this channel. I only showed you the total stock last week, and that is the Kobe draft pack that dropped on Sneakers US. The total stock was 19,756 pairs. And ladies and gentlemen, here are the size by size numbers. This is a recap, so these have already dropped, of course, but some of you guys want the size by size numbers. So there you go. Pause the screen, check out your size if you want, so you know how limited your W was. Right, with that said, now let's head on over to my favorite new website, stashsneakers.com. And boom, just like that, we are logged in, and let's take a look at the calendar. This, by the way, the site is not fully operational yet. You can see stock numbers for all releases, but I can actually see a lot more than ever. And I'm going to show you that by showing you some of these products that are dropping this week. We are looking at currently Tuesday, June 30th. That is today. Nothing fancy going on. Maybe the Nike KD19 Orange Crush, I think. And maybe the Air Max 1 Cincinnati Reds. But other than that, not too much going on today. On the other hand, July 1st, if we take a look at that, we have endless products dropping from New Balance. We have Vans, a lot of Nikes, a lot of Adidas, Sambas, and Superstar 2s, and a bunch of stuff is going on. I think the most important ones before we look at the stock numbers is maybe the Air Jordan 1 High, Love the Game. That one is dropping tomorrow. And then we also have, of course, finally the Air Jordan 5 Black UNC on Nike EU. This thing already dropped on all the other regions. I did a separate video showing you size by size numbers. But tomorrow on Nike EU UK, this thing will be dropping at 9 o'clock Central Eastern Time. So do not miss it if you want to cop it. I don't have the size by size numbers, but since I last reported them, it was 4,300 pairs. A couple of sizes were missing, so it's around 4,500 pairs or something. But then again, it's a Jordan 5. It's probably gonna sit. Nike knows it, you know it, but this is a fire sneaker. Do not sleep on that. By the way, when you see something like this, the Air Jordan 5 Retro Sunset to be announced, I don't know if this thing is dropping tomorrow as well, but when I see a product pop up, that means the monitor picked it up, and it could be a shock drop or something. I'm not even quite certain about this release, but yeah. If you wanted the Air Jordan 5 Retro Sunsets for some reason, be ready tomorrow at 9 o'clock Central Eastern Time as well, July 1st. This is also the Nike EU app, if it even drops. I do want to show you some other stuff on the calendar. Thursday, we have a couple of bangers dropping as well. Nothing too crazy. I'm going to be looking at those stock numbers. And then this is weird. On July 3rd, the True Blues, for some reason, those don't drop until July 18th, I think. So I don't know what's going on. Just be ready in case you wanted the True Blues, but they're going to sit as well, right? They're not going to be hard to get. But I see something happening on July 3rd, so be ready for that one. It could be an early release potentially, or just that EU has an early release. I should do more research because I just turned on the camera and logged in. I'm not quite sure what is going on. We have the Nike Ja Tiger as well, the Animal Pack dropping on Friday. I'm gonna give you a little preview because I'm gonna do these weekly and just go through the calendar and the stock numbers. I did promise you that, but I want to tease you a little bit for next week. And I want to show you of course, we got the Kansas City Air Max 1 dropping on Thursday. We have the Birds of Paradise dropping, which is crazy. The sneaker that a lot of you were wondering about, the Air Jordan 7 Miro, is also dropping. This banger Nike Vomero Plus is also dropping next week on July 30th. And as you can see, on July 18th, the True Blues are dropping. So again, be ready in case they drop early. But I do want to show you this. The Nike Mines are restocking as well. And then look at this. On July 13th, we have the Cryo Shots restocking. All the colorways, I think. The Sean's are missing. But the Virgil Abloh Archives and the merch and everything else seems to be restocking on July 13th. But we're gonna save that for next week. All right, now I want to show you stock numbers for some of these releases, and I'm gonna be going through these pretty fast because none of them are really hype, but I just want to show you anyway how it works on the website. So the first sneaker up is the Air Jordan 1 High Love the Game that drops on July 1st. And currently I can only see 3 regions. Sneakers Mexico, 3,273 pairs. Sneakers Japan sitting at 3,191 pairs. And finally South Korea, 1,332 pairs. I also want to show you how the size by size numbers work on the Stat Sneakers website. Once you are a member, you just click on this little arrow right here and then you can see the numbers. Pretty amazing, right? All right, so the next sneaker that we're gonna look at is the Nike Moon Shoe OG Cacao Wow, dropping through the Nike app in EU, UK. And I do have the stock numbers, 2,833 pairs for this colorway. Never liked the Moon shoes, but hey, I'm just reporting, I'm just doing my job. We have this thing, Nike First Sight Mirage Summit White, 218 pairs will be available. And of course, the stock numbers for the Jordan 5 Black UNC are not shown here, but I told you earlier, around 4,500 pairs will be available on Nike EU. And for this thing, nothing, I can't see anything. So just, keep your eyes open tomorrow, just in case. We also have the Nike Moon Shoe OG Barbecue Brown, not sure how to pronounce that, but 1,965 pairs for this colorway will be available. And since these releases are not that hype, I don't think you care about the size by size numbers. So I'm just gonna show you the total stock. We have the Nike Moon Shoe OG Midnight Navy, cool colorway, but still an ugly silhouette. 2,792 pairs will be available. And then we have the Sail colorway as well, 2,340 pairs for this one. And we have the Melanchite women's only, sitting at 653 pairs. I'm kind of interested at these size by size numbers. So my size 9.5, or it's a women's only, maybe size 10, 48 pairs, quite limited. Moving on, we have the Air Jordan 1 Low Palomino. This thing is also dropping on July 1st. It's not that crazy, but it's still a cool summer shoe, and 3,911 pairs will be available for US. And you can look at the size by size numbers if you were interested. EU UK has 1,134 pairs. You have the size by size numbers for that one as well. Sneakers Mexico, 1,039 pairs for Sneakers Mexico. And finally, South Korea, I imagine this is not the final stock, but 195 pairs. Or maybe it is. Maybe South Korea doesn't like Air Jordan 1 Lows. Who knows? Moving on, we have the Nike Zoom Streak 3 Black and Volt dropping on July 2nd, and EU UK has 1,835 pairs of this thing loaded. And we have the White and Volt colorway as well, 1,146 for Sneakers EU UK, my bad, Nike EU UK, and then Japan also shows 682 pairs for that one. Moving on, we got the shoe bag, Nike LeBron 23, and I can see stock for EU UK at 1,603 pairs available. And the sneaker that you asked me about over there on Sneakers Kitten, the Air Jordan 7 Miro, I'm just gonna tease you a little bit because this thing doesn't drop until July 10th. I'm gonna be covering all the regions for this one. At least I'm gonna try. But currently I can see only Sneakers Japan at 1,124 pairs. So like I said, next week we're gonna talk about this release and all the other regions as well. I also want to tease you a little bit with the Nike Air Max 95 711. Currently I see Japan at 2,020 pairs and I see EU UK at 1,172 pairs. We can look at the size by size numbers, but I don't think this is the final stock, but very limited over there in Japan and even more limited in EU UK. But like I said, next week we'll be talking about this release as well. And by the way, the Cryo Shots are restocking. I checked the app a few minutes ago and it's actually on the sneakers feed as upcoming. But you know, the stock is not pretty. 62 pairs for EU UK currently. If that changes, I will of course update you. But yeah, that's about it for the Stashed Sneakers calendar. We do this every week, so it's pretty fun, and you know, it just saves me time because I don't have to create the AI graphics for all of these releases. I can just cover the big releases with the AI graphics, and then I can just show you the website. And yo, if you want to join Stash Sneakers, just go on over to stashsneakers.com, become a member. But like I said, it's still under construction. A lot more tools will be coming to the website, and it's gonna be crazy. But anyway, let's talk about some sneaker news of this week. The Bravest Company, those guys who did the Hulk feet sneaker and a bunch of clown shoes and crazy footwear, on their Instagram, they put up this picture, and they are remaking the legendary Air Yeezy 2 colorways, all three of them, the Solar Reds, the Pure Platinum, and Red October. I actually have the Solar Reds. This is the most expensive sneaker in my collection, and yo, it's amazing. And you guys know I love to mess around on sneakers, kitten, using AI tools, creating Air Max 90 Red Octobers. I wish Nike would bring these back, but at least we have the Bravest Company doing this, and they look fire. I wonder if it's illegal though. It looks copyright unfriendly, but I don't know how that works. We'll see. Nike has been known to go after people who release sneakers similar to their own products, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm excited. I will be going for these. Let me know in the comments if you will be too. But I would imagine they're gonna be very limited and stupid expensive. All right, so I cover Nike mostly on this channel when it comes to stock numbers, but I do have a rumor stock for the white Jellyfishes, Pharrells that are dropping soon. They look crazy. I only have the black carbon colorway. They are more comfortable than you would imagine. But anyway, the rumored, and I have to emphasize, the rumored global stock for these things is 15,000 pairs. I try to check with my sources if this is accurate. Nobody really knows. But since I rarely have credible stock numbers for Adidas on this channel, I just wanted to put this out there. But remember, when I do Nike numbers, I'm very sure. I'm not so sure about this. And also the previous colorways, they were also rumored to be a lot lower, around 3,000 to 5,000 pairs, depending on which colorway we're talking about. So 15,000, that would make the highest stock so far. We'll see what happens once this thing releases. But then again, the carbon blacks weren't that hard to get. A lot of my followers actually managed to cop here in EU because they kept restocking this thing on different retailers. So who knows? Maybe these numbers are right, but let me know in the comments if you're excited for this colorway and are you going for them. And I also want to show you this because, hey, I'm Bosnian. Zlatan is half Bosnian. He is like the biggest thing we have. Zlatan says he needs more goals rocking the neon Air Max 95 in the Nike's latest ad. This ad was crazy, and it's just a good look for Nike and also for Bosnians. Yo, let's go. We also got a first look at the Air Jordan 11 Space Jams. These things look crazy, and you guys know about the stock numbers for these, but it's going to be 1 million pairs globally. So 1 million pairs for these things. So they're going to be relatively easy to cop in EU, UK, and other regions, but US, even though it doesn't matter how high these numbers get, when they do these releases at the end of the year, US always goes crazy. But yeah, they look hella dope. Let me know in the comments if you're excited for these. Nike also celebrated 30th anniversary of Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt album with an Air Force One, and the internet was going crazy over these, but they're not, like, look, it's not that much going on. It says Reasonable Doubt 1996. You got the Rockefeller logo, and it's just the white Air Force One logo, really. But hey, at least Jay is excited, and it's uncertain if this will have a wide release, but if anything changes and if you happen to be excited for these, I will of course let you know. The most comfortable sneaker I ever worn is the Nike Vomero Premium, and this is the dopest colorway so far, the bright crimson. Looks crazy. I wanted to show you an image of these because I will definitely be going for these. Let me know if you own a Vomero Premium, and if you don't, you should definitely cop one. We also got a first look at the Slam Jam Air Jordan 8. These look crazy. I'm actually very excited for these, and that comes with me saying when you do sneaker YouTube, you talk about a lot of sneakers, you do a lot of content surrounding sneakers. So sometimes that takes the fun out of it, but every now and then when I see a sneaker, I really genuinely get excited. And this is one of those examples. These look fire. Let me know in the comments what you think. No release date has been announced, but of course, as soon as I know anything, I will let you know. Nike will also be celebrating 40 years of Air Max with the Lost Samples pack. No actual release date for these babies, but they are rumored to drop in spring 2027, so it's quite far away, but they also excite me, and I wanted to show you this as well. We did talk about a lot of EU releases at the beginning of the video, but US is having a bunch of heat as well. They have the Nike SB Tennis Classics rubber set dropping on June 30th today. And of course, Nike St. Charge Cade Cunningham on July 1st. Jordan Triangle multiple colorways on July 1st as well. And Nike Ja 3 Animal Pack that I mentioned briefly is also dropping on July 3rd. I also teased the Air Jordan 4 Birds of Paradise a little bit, and I will be reporting the stock numbers for these. I know the colors on these are a little bit out there, but hey, I love the Air Jordan 4 and I'm actually excited for these. I remember doing the AI images, my own versions, when I only had the mock-ups, and now that we see the actual thing, these look a lot better than the mock-ups. I gotta be honest, let me know what you think. All right, I think that's about it for this video. I just wanted to update you, and we'll be doing this every week, so make sure you are subscribed. And also when it comes to the bigger releases, I will be covering the stock numbers for every region with my own graphics like I always do. And I'm also bringing some special videos. You're gonna love what I have cooking. I can't wait for you guys to see that. But thank you for watching the entire video. As always, I'll see you on the next one.